So my magical middle child, Xavier, is 10. He's got autism and he's been diagnosed since he was little. But it presents differently for everyone. So for him, it means it's like he's got this mind that's a filing system that he can't quite, extract information from at all times. So school is kind of a bit of a challenge for him. But big concepts and big conversations with adults is no problem. So if you go to a barbecue, he'll be playing with the kids outside, but next minute you might spot him indoors and he'll be propped up at the kitchen counter talking to Susan about her promotion or, complimenting Steve on his beard. He's kind of got this beautiful relationship with people, but he also has this protective kind of bubble around him where he is less aware or less concerned with what the rules of the world are and what other people think of him. So he comes home from school one day and he says, "Mum, I want to join the choir." Now, it's November, so I'm feeling a little bit suspicious. And I pretty quickly work out that he's discovered that there's an end-of-year concert at the concert hall and he wants in. And so I look it up and I say, "Look, mate, you probably can't join. You're meant to have practiced with the choir all year. They've been practicing twice a week in the mornings and, you just have to wait till next year." So he gets this kind of look sometimes and it's like wide-eyed and then squinty-eyed. And over the years, I've discovered that this means, I hear what you're saying. I have a different perspective, so just leave it with me. So off he goes to school the next day and he approaches the choir teacher and he says, "Kate, I want to join the choir." And she says, "Look, Xavier, you haven't been practicing, you don't know all the songs, so, maybe think about it next year. So, if you really want to chat more about music opportunities, go and see the head of music." So he comes home and we have dinner and he's chatting about it and he said, "Look, I'm going to talk to Mrs. G tomorrow. I might be able to make some headway on this one." So he heads off to school the next day and he approaches the head of choir and she says, "Look, there's so many songs, you won't have time to learn them. It's only a week away. Just maybe, find something else to do. But, thanks for your time." And he says, "Okay, so I respect that, but who else might I talk to about this?" So he tells me all this at dinner that night. And I take a look at him and he's, my beautiful small child. He's only 8 at this time, I think. He's got this shock of dark hair and his big glasses. And I think, I've given birth to a Karen. Like, he's asked to speak to the manager. I don't want to dial him back because by now I'm invested. I want to just see how far he can get with this. So I go, "Okay, go talk to the deputy principal then." So off he goes the next day and he's like, "Right, Alan, I need to have a chat." So, and he says, "I want to join the choir." And he says, "Oh, look, I probably agree with my colleagues. You can't join at this point of the year, maybe join a club." And so he comes home and he's starting to look a little bit deflated by this point. But he says, "I've got one more angle to try. I'll give it another go." So the next day, and by this point in the year or over the years, the ladies at the office are pretty accustomed to him coming up and giving suggestions on how to run the school and, just having a chat generally. So Nola's made some time for him to speak to the principal. And I'm at work and I'm in a meeting sort of in the afternoon and I get a missed call and get another one, and they're from my nanny. So I think, I better race out and see what's wrong. And it's Xavier on the end of the line and he says, "Mum, I'm in the choir." And so I'm so excited for him, but I think he's just worn them down. And I go back into the meeting and it's kind of full of my corporate colleagues and I tell them the news and they're excited because they've been tracking this all week too. But they're more impressed that he has gotten in on his negotiation skills than if he had actual talent. So he warbles away in his room all week and I kind of leave him to it. And the day of the concert finally arrives. And he's all dressed up for the concert. And if anyone's been to one of these massed choir concerts, they'll know that there are two types of kids in the choir world. There's the kid that is like back straight, arms by the side, chin up, and they're singing. And then there's like pizzazz and jazz hands and, all smiles and they're out of time. And my kid is like the 1%er. He's in the middle because he knows that right is right and right is important. So he is arms by the side, back straight, chin up, and he's eyeing off the kids who have got the pizzazz and the jazz hands and everything. But he also knows that this is his moment. I mean, he's got to find a way to shine because he's been practicing all week for this. So he is hands by his side, back straight, chin up, and all through the concert he's got a signature move and it's genius. It's a hair flick and a neck wiggle and a hair flick and a neck wiggle. And I watch him for the whole concert with his hair flick and his neck wiggle. And they come to the last song and it's Crocodile Rock by Elton John. And I look closely and I realise he's not even singing. Thank you.